A jury delivered a mixed verdict for the three former Memphis police officers involved in the fatal beating of Tyre Nichols last year. The defendants were all convicted of obstruction of justice and witness tampering in connection to covering up the beating. However, the men were acquitted of the harshest charges they faced, depriving Nichols of his civil rights, resulting in death. CBS News correspondent Elise Preston is in Memphis, Tennessee. Elise, walk us through the verdict.
Well, Lindsay, this comes at a very long road. Tyre Nichols was killed, or he died after that violent beating nearly 20 months ago. And this trial took place for nearly 4 weeks. Jurors heard 3 weeks of testimony. Two of the witnesses that they heard from were two former officers who already pleaded guilty before the trial began. And those officers testified to a policy, or a culture of loyalty and secrecy within that unit that they were a part of. They testified that they beat Tyre Nichols the night of question, January 7, 2023, because he ran away from them. And they also testified that he was not a threat. The jurors came back with that mixed verdict that you said. They found the officers guilty of trying to cover up that beating, but not guilty of more serious charges like violating Nichols' civil rights.
How is Tyre Nichols' family responding to the jury's decision?
Well, immediately after that verdict was ran, the family came right out here, and they were met by supporters who chanted justice for Tyre. Now, the verdict is mixed, but the family says that they're happy that all 5 officers involved in that night have now faced some accountability. You had those 2 who pleaded guilty before the trial began, and then you had the 3 who were found guilty on those charges. So they're looking forward ahead to the state trial. There's also a civil case in which the family is suing the city and the Memphis Police Department. And then the DOJ is also investigating MPD with a pattern or practices investigation. So this trial that ended yesterday was one milestone in a long road that will continue.
What do we know about that upcoming murder trial at the state level?
So what we know is that it has not been, the date has not been set yet. They're waiting for the sentencing for the federal trial, which will take place January of next year. Now, the DA, he did in a statement yesterday, said that he was pleased that there was some sort of accountability that was taken at the federal level. He said that the state court is ready, that the prosecutors are ready to go ahead and take this case to trial, but we do know that it will not take place until next year. Now, in that trial, all 5 officers face second-degree murder charges.
Elise Preston.